gloria bella si, ole gloria bella, bella paura, ole gloria bella si, ole gloria bella, allo be paura, ole gloria bella lo, ole gloria bella lo. Say, no yo mia heaven now, no say na me kwa opina chino, asco se me for amiro, kakala banya de la redudina miro. No no yo mia e vera oro ao no se llame kwa odira jino ae vasco sabe para mio kakala maya era redudina miro eleolo 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 no eleolo 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 no eleolo eleolo no viva ne ma plena Lucio Yesu ananda o beva ne ma plena Lucio Yesu ananda no viva ne ma plena Lucio Yesu ananda e yo dona e na bevo no viva ne ma plena Lucio Yesu ananda o ti alefemio tita aye Lucio ne wanantala aye jalele tita Lucio ne wanantala aye jalele tita obenare
Mix 100.9 FM so any na enne Monday September 13 2025 and time just about gone 21 minutes past 1 and here can say Osie lolo na foka ala ninyina no de ben na adwuada na ebobosumi ne ewomi ni da etoso edu emiensa ai I sure there be September 15 Michael Dokosi dear pa na hawo a Daily Post would be Monday September 13 Michael I didn't have and anyway Delegate has gotten it right. Delegate tells me Monday September 15 and I remember to you my dear day Bremo Gusuneti and Neat 100.9 FM. Enunti ena asida ede eko emam panifu ade masibwam panyini kwadwo damiado ono ena oye producer wodi mi see abontene Majeri osai agyeman ebo ne chidom owo mia ohima akuafiriye ena egbo mranti kwai eye echidom me nso so ya prami ADAKABRI Mamudu osio ma me na me di dwumade ho chia me abna frema bankro na wono nso so waye de bene a wo hwe na eye technical production nyina esine na so Ninyina mu yamfase da so mfama engineering team no achu agbo ai worker kwatia kwa na najare na nabuaje ada sankroma sempro ansane ye dia se da so to dem facilities team big solo and dada ai yaw and Godfred ye friend Ubrana and Sami and wania eye DJ Bosco na face so no aseda akọ ede ama eye tetai no so yaje no so and then some that one and some no edoso and some fuamiensa and ye na yade aba chicha kakra so ewo honom na yenhwe se de besi akọ a government to launch in Nkukwankitinkiti program in October. Nipa bi wa London. Musi ADAKABRI to obu ase na enne Nkukwankitinkiti ne chire yemu. Enu nti ene ebefa 1 year esia na so no. Omumra me chire mu Nkukwankitinkiti na ye nyina ye hunu ye mpagi ye mu nkuko bia ye pe eye Ghana nkuko ayedua. Ne yesi ebe achieve food sufficiency and nkuko sufficiency by 3 years time. Ni nyina ne ebeba be chire mu. Now, no to the Buno regional chairman of the New Patriotic Party. Ako jina ayemran enim and the Yako Pebe Diamano. Na judge ne can sembi and stand a was and deny bill. Akasi and Sampanico remand for 1 week. Na reasoning no and the Nipabi Ekasetia reasoning no. Say yenina yenye equal before the law. A yabedun home. Say judge ni reasoning no. Say and the Nipabi apa no at the AC. And now could the judge be telling us what we all should know? Say you're responsible with our comments. Nina yabedun home. And sa any asan bantu so no aye Musa Dankwa were small post na sa post no ye yete ho ase ana te Ghana blocks of Akan Northern Volta na yanhwe na yamfanka ni say nti eye Akan Northern Volta blocks no yamfanka ni say no na yam Gadangbe block it blocks and 9 eye Gadango blocks the Akan block the Volta block and then the Northern block ni nyina no yati sa post na se ana Musa Dankwa me kire yase mami tete ile bonye abo sam tete ile bonye delegate no catch the delegate is saying or say Abranya judge and the far over animal farm ruling. The judge na kwa say ye nyina George Orwell book or chiro ye say ye nyina ye equal before the law no and ebi say Idi Amin assembly waka and we attribute to there ama Robert Mugabe na emo no specific rules na and law no quote you ne there ye refia na ni nyina delegate e de abre o say my arrest politically motivated Kofi Akpalu and all can say ye Daily Guide and so actually no the new crusading guide and no can was a minority demands halt to US deportation deal to Ghana Ajiatumo to nationals of West Africa ye be deport omo akọ third party third country Ghana ebeje ediatum amasa third parties no and as a third country deportees no from the US ye don beba Ghana ha Amapia Ghanaian Chronicle and also Kanisania or see John Dramani Mahama slams GMO chicken on the Ghanaian market as government eyes poultry sector check-up. Or see a nature the genetically modified chicken or say a year yampen wagana hase na yenyi na nkoko nkete ya yenwedua ya nkoko wagana hase Ghana mampanyini osipri kemo ne nsuo eto yade chini yesi nsuo no eno no ahwim chini ya no eno nam ensuo mu chaw Ghana mampanyini no Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, I say I'm the right person to lead MPP in 2028. And I Odebaye. Graphic in so saying graphic is anti-galamsey task force purges and cobra bonsa rivers. Nina mono in the western region and anti-galamsey task force no omako yi structures mako ahasa e de afro ase enkrofo mfidie ya cc nina ne say river cobra and na ye pese ye ma anitie river bonsa and nso ye pese anitie
no vituela besa bona dodoge obele nambe mawa mesi dombe lolo sale sikekelile zagona dodoge si o mate mawana bele o tuela besa.
The Ghanaian Point also Vice President Nana Jane and stood as Owabrim Krukro the first at Commander Nyayi Festival and then she amukasi bi akoso ewa henefa akoso ewo commander na she amunu koso no na Ghana mampanyina be de akire na Jane na yabo akonya kese de ama no yesini se owo abrempon kruko kruko awodi kan na ni nyina ne ya fashe kese a ekoso ewo commander edna eguafo commander ekronumu Commander Kronumu and yes, after Shaya, a year Nana Jane, Tabasu body Aquadiamano.
Olegonya Bela Paula, Olegonya Benyasi, Olegonya Beya, Aloe Paula, Olegonya Benyalo, Olegonya Benyalo. Say, no Yomia, Evena, no Sename Qua, Obina Giro, Pasco Sebe, Fonamiro.
On Facebook Live, and Oyibo Boateng was saying, member of the MPP Media Patrons, also made the soul of Apostle Kojo Safu continue to rest. And Odebaye, Partner Freedom no Mawasi, offer good afternoon to you and your crew members. Offer that Sabronia still on hunger strike or has he started eating? And Ode Ebaye. NDC Dumso was ADAKABRI. The judge in Abronya's case isn't being fair in his deliberations. The judge should know that we are in a civilized world, not in the archaic animal farm. Na Yesu ebeba abronye nsensemi de judge di kan ye nyina animal farm ani ye kan ho asem se eye hwane a se eye Mugabe de kan yo se ye Idi Amin de kan yo ade ne ye happen but judge no refer to emra bi no refer to mra no eye section 96.5c section 95.5a ade na e kan de kire yen enti emra no kotu ye de emra ne nya adwuma na Judge no echo to aye emrano na oka aye criminal and other offenses no and a judge no echo to a year 96 5A and 96 5C and I watch lecture more as someone 95 96 5C no eka and watch lecture more as someone 96 5A no eka na no and obia refiana was see a year section 95 5C no. Or see if the court thinks that there is a likelihood that the accused person will commit similar offense when he can be on bail, refuse on bail. Or see section 96 5A. If there is less likelihood that accused person may appear before the court can also refuse, may not appear before the court. The accused person may refuse bail. Sa emrana eye judge no court yano. Yenina yanshana and animal farm assembly yeka and George Owa assembly yeka and Juania Idi Amino Semogabe na assembly yeka.
Neat FM Neo.
Musa Dankwa of Global Info Analytics was in Ghana Yenchemunai, Akam block, Northern block, Aye Water block, and the Adangbe block. Ah, Musa. Musa Dankwa is saying, or say it is more realistic to group the country into Akan, Northern, Gadangbe, and water blocks. Or say don't read many meanings into this post. It is in the context of an upcoming race which will make sense later. It applies only to the NDC race and their concept of rotation. Thank you. And Musa Debaye. Yani Musa Bedin Komo. Now when Musa this a small post where the buyer and I'm a young couple Moment, or formerly of the GTV, and they were what Tamale UDS, and a moment say, Musa de me penasem, as where the Musa wagwa, more especially, so Ubel put the whole North together. Now, languages are Hudo, tribes are Hudo, ethnic groups are Hudo, one North. Now, Ubel get women together. Musa wagwa, Musa is on the line. Aye, Ora Musa Dankwa, Executive Director, Global Info Analytics, Yamaha, Edoba Neat FM so.
Offer me so.
Na Idi, won't you say there?
Nyamiadum, or their chair, me.
Aquatia, Yako Aquatia Ede Abba. Na aftermath no, say ye exit poll, say ye debrief, what can we learn from Aquatia polling a Global Info Analytics moye?
ADAKABRI me that say, me chia when what here phone na any mamo show or Facebook. The lessons learned in this demography offer demography, or say the demography only one ebedin kita ho. Na saying you keep in mind the demography, and then say that demography no reactive or behave in the context of election. And they're saying, I think Aquatia demography no exercise probably about compared to 10 years ago. And what could win you Aquatia 10 years ago may not win you election today. And they say Aquatia has moved from illiterate constituency to highly literate constituency. Aquatia has also moved from just a mining job or mining employment to civic sector job and farming. So this key development, it influences the behavior of the one year, you make a wrong choice, the people, and they will not vote for that choice.
And the demography in Akwetiano, was it prevailing in December 2024, and it became apparent at this onset of this by-election?
It is there 2024. In fact, 2016, a different, and that led to the election of Amase. 2020, it began to change. It led to the election of Boachiado. And then 2024, the change was embedded strongly. And that led to the election of Neskumi. And in 2025 by-election, they maintained that demographic influence, and they elected Bernard Bedu.
Na Akwetiano, a dear potty never see a shared demographics na a dear potty never no more. We could have a change in 2016, having changed again in 2020, having changed again in 2024.
A largely educational level, which links to the jobs that are available there at the moment. Before 2016 elections, I think very few people had senior, high, and degree qualifications in Akotia. Post-free SHS, and a lot more have had senior high education and went ahead to do their degree level courses. So majority of voters in Akotia today at least senior high and tertiary, about nearly 60% of them. But before, that number was probably lower. And before, that lower level of qualification and education level led to Akotia to select Amase. And today, what the Amase age now, she will lose because demography has changed.
Let's just say, in terms of demography, Akotia has been fluid.
Very, very fluid.
True.
And following up from there, once they become SS graduate and degree level graduates, the type of jobs these people do is no longer galamsey, but service sector jobs, and others are into farming as well. So, ocean dynamics, those who are in the mining in Akotia, who are actually Akotia indigenous, are the minority. Most people, according to even GSS in Akotia, or what they call Ghana Statistical Services, Akotia is a service and farming community in terms of employment types. Something that should have been influenced the kind of choices that was made in Akotia by NPP.
True. Yate. Woman biti so biti. Na yehwe se de besi akwenu. Then in a short post, Musa Dankwa goes, it is more realistic to group the country into Akan, Northern, Gadangbe, and water blocks. Now, way, when actually, now, was it about demographic situation or was it about geography?
It was about geography.
It was about geography.
About geography.
Tell us more. The entire you may have to write a post under geographical locations.
The geography lends its credence to demography. If that makes sense.
Geography lends credence to demography.
Yes, it's demography, yes. In the past, we had northern region, upper west, upper east, Mebua.
In fact, now you were northern region.
Yes.
John Dramani Mahama, ni papa ye Mahama. And na aye ba umiaso ko and na 1960 and na yekwate upper east region and edema asumda Then in 1982, and a year that time, Rollins, Womo Bebetos and Dr. Hilary Man, or the first police region, a year upper west region under police hierarchy, no, or the Francis Puku, a call that I know chief superintendent of police, don't go ahead a year upper west region in terms of police map, no. Then Rollins, Ebebe Crete, upper west, no, actually, police, a car honum. It now tell us.
So you know the history better than I do. But we classify the entire area as a northern part of the country. It doesn't matter which part you come from. Maybe what?
They just said northern part of the country in terms of geography, but not not northness.
No, not northness. No. Geography may come with it. And then I was trying to point out to the south, which would have been better if Greater Accra and Volta wasn't part of the south. We'll share a map now. Technically, the northern part and the southern part. But the southern part, you have the Volta region as part of the southern. That region or Greater Accra as part of the southern. Cape Coast or Central region and the Western as part of the Southern. But these Southern people have distinct, unique identities, which are not common. So in terms of maybe rotational leadership, people tend not to look at the specific regions in the sector, but as a block.
But then, generally, we talk about demography, which is more or less distinct from geography. And you told us, say, geography, lend credence to demography. So how do you marry demographics where we have in the north, we have the Dagomes, we have the Gonjas, we have the Nanumbes, we have the Mamprusis. Now, then in the upper west, we have the Dagatis, we have the Walas. Then in the upper east, we have the Frafles, we have the Kusasis, we have the
and everybody is there.
Yes.
So the geography of the North historically has also given us a pattern when it comes to election. And my post was not in the context of social issues, but rather on political lines. And in particular, with the NDC race. As a voter, see, I always put myself in the shoes of ordinary voter to understand what will the ordinary voter think. As a voter, the first is that which block is the candidate coming from? If we are rotating the blocks, how should the blocks be serviced? Then, the blocks now, the 4 blocks now, then it fits conveniently into the geography of Greater Accra, which incidentally, most of the people living in Greater Accra are not even Ga.
They appear to be minority in terms of the numbers in the Greater Accra region, who are eligible to vote.
Absolutely. So the post was not about the ethnic; it's about the landmass, demography, the geography of the area.
Okay, the mame mwawe. We see something to do with the NDC, and then it will be interesting later. Now, the spectacle of General Sedin Ketia, supported by Okudzeto Ablakwa as a running mate, versus that of Julius Debra versus Haruna Idrisu. Both Julius Debra and Sedin Ketia from the account stock, as you put it. Na Haruna from the northern stock, though technically is a Dagomba. Na Okujeto Ablakwa from the Volta block, though technically he's an AV. How does it delve into Upostu now?
Offer and no other wakano. You see, if the scenario or what you have just given me is anything to go by, they expect that one candidate will bring the block. And I'm a It's not bringing a region, it's bringing a block. It's not bringing any ethnic group, it's bringing a block. And the zebra being a can, they expect him to bring
the account block no.
And if you look at the scenario with the saving case here, he's also required to bring the account block.
Yeah.
But you don't expect the northern block to go heavily for him if Haruna is not going there. And then Ablakwa, you expect him to bring the voter block, which is OT and voter put together.
OT and voter put together, yes.
It's a block. That's why I call them block. But OT is not our group.
Yes.
So the argument about ethnicity doesn't come in here because you can't put voter and OT and call them away.
In fact, OT more of Guans, Akpafu, Lolobi grouping.
Yes, and they are all Guans technically. So it's about the geography than ethnicity.
Inti se Ablakwa do an EV, but obetimi the voter block number that includes the OTR. Are you suggesting, say, Haruna also supporting Julius Debra could do a Dagomba can also bring the Gunjes and the Nanumbes and the Mamprusis into the fray?
That is what that scenario could mean. I'm not the one who put this together. You are just telling me. So I'm just using your own scenario to buttress the point that he is expected to bring the block, not a region or a tribe.
But is it possible Global Info Analytics could test this on the ground? So the spectacle of Julius Debra supported by Haruna Idrisu and then Asiedu Nketia supported by Ablakwa. What NDC delegates could be saying, and then test it nationally and see what national voters could be saying. We
do a lot of work that we don't put them out there. Let's leave it here.
We do a lot of work that we don't put out there. Let's leave it here. That's in confidence, Robert can't tell me.
No, for me, can't do.
Oh, Musa. Now, Musa, as I would remove ya do. Now, when you get it wrong once, Ghanaians could discard you, Anna.
I would do my utmost best with all sincerity and honesty. And that when I even go wrong, it wouldn't be very far off. I will be very close, but it could be wrong. Because no poster will get everything right in their lifetime.
Let's just say complacency there.
Absolutely not. And we are not leaving any stone unturned when it comes to our methodology. What we should do to make sure that what we will get is what will reflect in the outcome of the election.
Now, integrity issues, thank you for the, your friend say, a normal me a candidate to be a na yes, or no, nani nipa bi is in close contact with Musa in Tibia and Musa could that person could influence Musa. Maybe the man can be could somebody influence you? Integrity issues are to skill things.
Before 2022 election, I had worked with His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Baumia very closely. Very, very closely. His brother I had worked with in London Underground for about 7 years. Right? If there was any influence, he would have been the one that could have influenced me. He didn't try. He didn't influence me. I didn't get influenced. Nobody on the face of this planet can influence me. I put my integrity above everything else. You can look, as we speak to you, there are people who come to you for data. We have business relationships from people who are MPP, those who are NDC. I don't advise any candidate. I collect data for you. Go and find your own advisors. When MPP was in power and were doing polls that was going against them, were they saying that NDC paid us? Some said it, but did MPC people say they paid us? And those in NDC who are making some allegations today, does it mean that they paid us? They should go and find out from their leaders.
Now, have you mentioned to anybody at all publicly, say, you are affiliated to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia closely?
No, over the years, I have spoken about my involvement with the Ghana card and how he worked closely with us to get the Ghana card delivered.
That is your links to Margins group, no?
Absolutely, because I was the Margins consultant from 2012 to 2018. And 2018, 2021, or 22, I became the head of commercial finance for Margins Group. The head of commercial finance for Margins Group. So we were working with Dr. Bawumia and his vice president team for all this while. I attended a meeting with him in the chair several times. Yet,
the time what the data about Bontiana, Dr. Kabiru, tackle no, Dr. Bawumia, contact you over apparent disagreement between Musa Dankwa and Dr. Kabiru.
No. I mean, he is bigger than that. I don't think he would have done so. But nobody reached out to me about anything. But subsequent to that, I mean, we've had conversation with some of the team members. And look, in the end, Omo who said all we're doing was right, was pure data, and not influenced by anything. And that will continue to be the case forever for us.
So yet to see year, area will post to know what you say. Ghana, you divided by blocks of Akans, Northerners, Northern, Volta block, and that of the Gandangbino. So we say a more of geography, which may give credence to demography. Answer Nabekrono. So when you talk about the Norfa, a Hinefana Walker, when you talk about a cancer, geographical location, Hinefana Walker, when you talk about the Gandangbisa, geographical location, Hena Walker, and when you talk about the Volta block now, geographical location, Hinefana Walker.
Over Okami 2024 National Tracking Poll Noir. Obekaya, we provided about three geographical groupings. I always present data in the Akan dominated region. Who is doing well there? Obekaya.
That is the 7
eight regions.
8 regions at the time now.
Western North, Central, Eastern, Bunu, Ahafo, Bunu East. These were the Akan dominated regions.
And they are still 7, not 8.
Okay.
7 yet 8.
Okay, 7.
Yes.
And a Kumasi,
Asante Bana be 8.
8, Asante Kaho. So we were analyzing the data in the context of this block. And then we did Northern block, Northern sector.
Northern sector, no, I recall.
The Northern sector includes Savannah, Upper West, Upper East, North East, and Northern region.
Yeah.
And how
those were 5 regions.
Yes. And then we did the voter and OT Ubekaya. And I assigned what we call the swing regions. Western, Central, and Accra, Boom, the swing regions. And I analyzed the report in that context. It's no different from what I have written today. It's different.
It is said Yenya 8 account regions. And I recall, so yes, I did we say, Emma, yes, share demographics, and said, na isi etie. Can we go further to tell the voting population of the account regions?
Yes, they are the dominant. I don't even need to. I can close my eyes and tell you, but I haven't done the math yet. It is the most dominant.
And within the account regions, you know, you bet me as your subgroupings na. So be to say,
we don't go there because that's not in our interest. we don't go there.
It okay, so maybe person me call my mention so with me validate my thoughts. That is
okay.
So we share account regions now. We have to go by the NDC upcoming primaries. Now, yes, the General Mosquito, Toto, any Wamama no, Joe Biden, Julius. For whatever reason, we consider Deborah age, now we Joe Biden age, now almost Joe Biden, Sandra Iwu, Mrantiani Mabawaba. Inti a see doing Katiani Julius Zebra, ne Julius Zebra, ne papa, free a year quote, and ne papa no as the regional cuckoo officer, what now to whom. Inti akwete said the Oma Beka to whom I just say a bushanfuni in our home.
Okay.
And na ne mammy free or down quanta in the 18 Achim regions, Achim constituencies in the eastern region. Inti said the mammy free or down quanta, ne papa free a year quo, but a year informative years in Suhum. Now, what the toto a said Ketiahu. I said doing Katia from the Bono region. Or no, or shall say free Wenchi, and sana or call ya for the call Wenchi West. But technically from Sekwa, Sekwa for no, omu echiri pano, free a year La Côte d'Ivoire and a baye. But what the boom, our banafonum, war in Soko Wenchi, into banafono so dorsal, banafono so war. Links with the German groupings of Nafana for Sampa for no groupings no. It way see a same gram in the sub account groupings now and now account block now with the abana. Can that tell us any story?
No, offer. I don't want to go into that sub block. What I'm trying to limit myself to is the geographical boundaries or the geographical lines. And which dominant groups kind of dominate, and that makes that block that group. Whether you are from a small group within that big block, I don't want to mirror into that. And not bear a bit pedestrian. I want to focus on the bigger geography, which is the blocks.
Did you just say no be a mere pedestrian?
I think it is then tried to go into an issue that people begin to read meaning into what I posted earlier. I think it's an ethnic post, which is not.
So if you do not wish to say, Nipa read the meaning into what your post may entail, drilling it down. Can you describe that as a pedestrian rather?
Maybe it's a wrong choice of word. Maybe I would say something I don't want to go there offer.
Exactly. You take back the use of the word pedestrian. Because Ubajia to say, who shall see ma ye blocks no so dear. And then now Ubajia to say people may drill it down.
No, people can use when it comes to elections, you can drill down and drill down and drill down. But my post was not about drilling down and drill down. People can drill down to whatever level they want. But I don't want to go to that level because I haven't gone that level in my post. My post don't drill down into the sub. So I don't want to be starting that argument. I don't have data about that.
Then also, say Ubetimia take time of so Ashe, the center of the right groupings, dominant MPP, who are telling us, say, listening to political pundits, so Yansanfa Dr. Baumiyamra no ni marketing as opposed to the old Ken who more or less defended, propagated, and the new Ken who is supposed to be building now. Said Dr. Baumianiba, Nessa, a nay, Utieti de Polafuku Ekika, wako a year Star FM, wako a year Impunimpu on UTV, and some a Polafuku Ekika. Now, we should say in the coming weeks, maximum 3-4 weeks, now movement for change so answer aka ne a year provisional certificate as a political party. And also, so no, can we use our block system here to say that the center of the right may gain or may lose at the national polls?
Look, I am trying to stay out of the party's primaries as much as I can with my commentary, just for a very good reason. And I don't want to start making those analyses here today.
Now, be it private work and as a public work to authenticate our propositions here now.
I don't think I need to do any private work. Eventually, the public opinion poll we are doing, we can analyze a lot more when we have data about the race. So maybe it is too early for now because we have not done anything yet. But what we are doing next month, we'll begin to see some insight as to those things that you may be asking me to do it privately. Because the MPP primaries or among general voters, NDC primaries among general voters. Then we are doing head-to-head. NDC needs top 4, how many MP for top 2, one on Betwama. And that we can analyze it by block and see what is happening there. For now, I have no data to comment.
Yo, see, just before you go, NDC top 4, no? Anyone?
Top 4, no, Julius Deborah, Asid Winketia, Harun Idrisu, and to forcing. They are the ones who have obtained more than 10% of the national average from the various polling. So we pick those who have achieved at least 10% of the national support. And the same thing was applied to MPP. And that support, or those people were Baumia and Kennedy.
That's the baseline.
Yeah, that's the baseline, yes.
But you were asking people who had not been shortlisted or had not been mentioned by your work to also phone in and tell you about their interest. In the case of the NDC, for Nubia Fraka, you say, Mumu didn't know you're interested.
Obia say you be the prime primo.
Obisi you be the primo. Yes, I am for no didn't count. Hey, ready.
But sometimes you see, for us as a posters room, everybody has a follower. And you want to see the behavior of the followers of each person. Not necessarily whether the person will win or no. It's to see the behavior. If you are doing a run of almost too much business, and now and no here in change, say, be never.
To the crack, no. Say, you check Ghanaian voter psychology. Do they consider the personality of the person they intend to vote for? Say, where they vote here. Say, where they was soon. Where they can wear me kuna campe. Where they can wear me wafan campe. Where they can wear me papa campe. Do Ghanaian voters consider personalities?
Yes.
Eddie, woman tiano so, and woman air so. Omun some beba. Musa? Baba Musa?
Cover.
Coco Papa Bitnawati. Now, I will contact you later. Now you didn't come more in confidence. Why?
Mate.
Nyamin Shao, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Right. Musa Dankwa and what in no. And some nina and Musa Dankwa at the Atuano. It interview no every day. Ever sign at was papa. It goes so the tea a year neat FM. Now, interview back as about to us, but then we both watching I can count with the and Kwabena freedom so I can kind. The usual Sandra Banafo. We do at them as well Baba Small. Also, ADAKABRI. So, this one to you, do you want to defend this judge Even NDC judges are even criticizing the judge for this ruling to the extent that they are calling for his removal. And Sandra Dembusa Ayane say, Judge, or a reference to George Orwell, or a reference and attribute to Robert Mugabe. And we are learning, say, it was rather Idi Amin and the car baby, sir. And then I was asking, said Judge, Okotu Emrami, 96.5A and a 96.5C. Actually, the 96.5A no actually, and the 96.5C no actually. No, the yen as was say, and intimate money bill. So I'm just asking, do we rely on comments made, and I say comments made in passing? So lawyer for no better as you, Sandra, minimum who you are, but lawyer for no better as a comments made in passing. A reference to George Orwell, a reference to Idi Amin and Nancy Mugabe, no. But then, so Oba back. Now underlying reasoning, no, Oba be referred to a particular section of the law. I'm just asking. So do we put much more emphasis on the comments made in passing as opposed to the underlying reasoning? Nana, as my name is Busara and Sandra. Ash Hassan, also good afternoon, ADAKABRI. Enjoying you live from Netherlands. Greetings to Sekendi JJ. Love you all. Nani Akakpo Gaddafia. Good afternoon, Mr. ADAKABRI. I love your show. Keep the fire burning. Amos Day of ADAKABRI. On radio, you have no competitor. Live in Virginia water. Kwajo Amidome. As a good afternoon, Neat Be Mighty family. Thanks, Mr. ADAKABRI, for staying in Accra, for not going to Kumasi for Asante Hima's funeral. Adaruma, I go grab my emrekura. If the air or my muhase, aye enkra, Krukasimu, aye Yawada Najo, and I'm a bit Kumase, aye if you are down humache, and my name is director for Yako or Santa Hine, or 242, Yako Ayamenshia, at the Yansua Bodia, any Confanochi teaching hospital, Hugh Confanochi. Ya didn't na call ye. Hugh Confanochi, VIP for director for a year Caputo 300,000 cities. And they said, ya did call ye. Na Santa Hines, Mumu receipts. Na young Tron Concorda or Massing. It is Edgeman, if you are done, and me sign about back. A baby drew a hinefa and can have him in that anopa and not me be Juma and it's a meditae. And I do so what I Roma. ADAKABRI Mahmoud Usioma. That one any boy me may sama cobium. If we send some body also for the 2 year no, as also one man said VIP director for ADAKABRI Mahmoud Usioma. He do when he crow. Ninyina mu edi kose wofake no plan station was my condolences to Asante Mine, especially Otumfo or say to Mensa Emmanuel as a vote for movement for change. It's a movement for change for Omonsa Ebeka Omo provisional certificate. A real BBA, the Omo Babakanyina, Wamasa send the Atuanoma, Ye Babeka. Ovake, ADAKABRI, you are my mentor. Ovake, no plans today, a Yokro, no plan station, Yokro Papa. You no mabebre with no plan station. Abraboni na eko ye at the mine. into unia uba ubenyam fasode pa wo no plan station ofa ke me chia papa Kota Joshua Ayaya Kota Wasi Wafa, good afternoon. Is the Excellency John Dramani Mahama, ex-President J.A. Kufuor, the President in waiting, His Excellency John Allan Kwajotra Matne, and Ibrahim Mahama doing? President Mahama. Nehuya pa nanu insu ahwena ama na o she lufes. Say ye se na on she socks. It insu no ko ne mpaboa mu. Obe wa wororo ama maami akosia lodina o de hata kakra. Insu so atoto eti awia ne ma oda ho hatem. Saso na papa je ekufuo. Papa ne ho ye papa na ho ye papa ho ye. Alanjogojo kire matne. Ai ode ne ho siesie sa osi abontina da bia na oye fresh. Bajo kire matne ne ho ye pa kwadwo mi mu asem. Ne ho ye. Saso na baba igwe Ibra so ho ye papa. No pastor so kwabna seso otie kwabna me chia baby a wo bia Dumso NDC as ADAKABRI. Have you heard that Abronya is built in the sum of 50,000 cedis? Dinyina no judge me can say wonya de benia onsan emra na watwentem na enso so akwanya wo ho se omutimi ekọ etimi call a higher court, was a circuit court na asem no wo. Omutimi call human rights court, a high court. Omutimi call the asem court nanim. Emma omutimi edeba. There be an human rights being abused. Court no so etimi tie o manu asem. Moses Kefosu also let them keep entertaining Abronya and give him bail. He will come out and insult them more. And or the ebaye. Sasu Kwabena. As you wafa, truth be told, John Mahama has done. As the truth be told, John Mahama has done incredibly well in the last 8 months. By the fight against Galamsey, has become the bar in his success. And now the ebaye. Yankona mini elo yankungudim komo. The bar. Chai God walato liati. As Mr. ADAKABRI, good afternoon. I really like your way of interviewing. And now what they buy. It's young cray. Now lawyer ba in fact, we name the stuff. A qualified and practicing lawyer, Kwame Adofo Esquire. He's still in private practice. Na or you'll be a udino money. Lawyer Adofo Yamwaha. Until lawyer Adofo Beba. And lawyer Adofo Beba. Amewuga Kudalo. I say good afternoon. I'm watching you from Agape Adrake inside Roots Cottage and Odebaye. Mystic Wonder. I say good afternoon to you, ADAKABRI. Though Dr. Baumia has apologized. Now, Yanko, na yane lawyer Adofo Nkunkudin komo. Kwame Adofo Esquire Yamwaha. Doc, Lord, I want to say we
senior me hoye pa na oswe.
When it be any aquam. Lawyer for you na Tiago Quam ko a year wa for the upcoming conference. None I'm here.
Correct.
Na Mami Musa Ubie. Judge Bright Aqua. What na Abronye charge misdemeanor ya debo onui. Na for the second request say Abronya appear before him. Na application for bail no. In that mini trial for bail, the ruling ni ba ya no. On my reasons in tia Abronya on money bail. The comments that he made in passing and the underlying reason in tia on money bail. Na enipa bebre happen on the comments he made in passing relating to at George Orwell's Animal Farm, and that of say Idi Aminu, say Mugabe, and then quoted sections of the Criminal and Other Offences Act, 96(5)A and 96(5) C. Uridi. Now, what are your thoughts?
I mean, share will be on. I mean, for no helpful. And the video copy be a mobile. No clear woman say, and Kajaji added a ruling the buyer. And my reasons to grandpa. Ankaye. Which must throw 2 sentences. I'm not satisfied that the accused person is entitled to bail. Full stop. Then also, I'm a detailed reason, which is something that we are all entitled. Detailed reasons for your decision. Then there's some reasons that assume in line with law. I don't hear a right to reasons. So make a decision. That's why my reasons are. It's more like a denial of natural justice. Now, judge ni ruling by ni probably a kind. That's my kind. Now, baby, a hard drink a say. And you may be okay to the support to the reasons. A hard drink. Because you could to say we have freedom of speech, but you cannot be guaranteed freedom after speech. Now, we attribute to Mugabe. And so, judge, so whom say, in fact, the source no cry correct, and I say wrong. 2, for you to, in a democracy, for a judge to cite, say you have the freedom of speech, but your freedom of safety is not, it cannot be guaranteed. That in itself defeats the whole purpose that you are in democracy, and you are sitting as a judge. Because a judge should be prepared to say, the liberty of a citizen under the Constitution is guaranteed. Now, as a judge, we can say you have the freedom to speak, but your liberty or your safety is not guaranteed. That's what you call era na 1992 Constitution in Yamaya. And you're all correct me. Those of us who saw a bit of it, and then they serious days, dark days of our country's history. The second point, so
and can you treat the first point here? We make it say all your reference to Serbia, your safety cannot be guaranteed. Oh no, all the yako the pre 1992 Constitution era will be correct me ira. In the show, uko even in the First Republic na ye were PDA. A preventive detention act. And subsequently, Buzi as also by no, ye benya a preventive detention decree noa. Soldier for no so the Ninana said, Bia, assembly bet me a see. Na yentimin guarantee with safety no obi the ration and sa ababa your bonny. He said, nay, ye ba. Na judge no could be imagining say, would you do pebia and what catch there? Ebia yohonu the opebia what catch John Dramani Mahama, but looking at the law no what the freedom of speech what can wasem mama bail 2 issues about 96A and the C no so be repeat offense be one yet you are not a flight from justice and until mama bail nako na could we be sure say obia ope yohoni asem ope John Mahama asem ain't mean kushiane baby and yan bonnet ana.
Well, look, that question as found say judge and granted injunction. Now I'm granted injunction, somebody's safety cannot be guaranteed. Is that the purpose of injunction? The whole point in say, let me take you back to Madam Judge or Justice Cecilia Krantiado.
Yeah, the late Krantiado.
Yes. Wouldn't be until a because she stood against the regime at the time by her rulings to be on my. Now, answer now, Obabe Judge, you swear an oath that you do justice to all manner of persons without fear or favor. There is a reason for that oath. I almost swear. Obi Nyankopon and then CM. That was I say so. It is only a judge. That's also swear said you are going to uphold the constitution of this country. That's it. Obi challenging the institution itself. That's all I can say. You have your freedom of speech, but your freedom of safety cannot be guaranteed. Now, we judge what defeated the purpose of your oath.
Okay. And Sanko Bim. Yenyi bibi kakra bi Justice La Krantiado de na woka ye no that she stood against a regime. Yes. It's why you put in contest na one is why everybody here ho ase. There's been a military junta in 1979. Omo ba no omo ye no ma bi. And akoba say omo koye no in 1979 September 24th September 1979 civilian regime led by Hilal Liman Abba and a nipa bi akọ court akọ challenge eye no ma bi a military junta na eye tinye Cecilia Krantiado pe eye kwadwo agya Japan eka ho sakode eka ho ena omo ye sade no into new government sign ebe two new military regime no ebe two eye Dr. Hilal Liman no so ne busmu nsia akire no and elements you see the SIB report by Yajuma elements linked to the new regime no warm ekoko liquidate sampenim foi. So it is not so much she stood against a regime and the regime liquidated her. Why?
True. No. The point that the person will make it and say she could have also said, you have freedom to do whatever, but your safety cannot be guaranteed. And could be a Yanafi. Can't come continue to Kuno. What did they make an answer? But because she stood with the law, the fidelity of the law, and until that she had to pay the ultimate punishment.
They have to pay the ultimate punishment.
They had to punish her or make her pay the ultimate price. They made how to say.
Yes, except I do not understand the entire Ubeyi Krantiado pe every judges.
No, I'm just saying the judges.
Exactly. Now I'm comfortable.
No. I'm saying the judges.
Yes.
Now the other captain, no senior judges don't go
a captain no so no. Now or yeah.
Major Aqua, I think his name was
Major Aqua. No, or your personnel manager for Ghana Industrial Holding Company, Gihok. And na neho na mate kwe ye adwuma. And no so soldiers seminum by any ye in a day. Into then the major was roped in this instance a soldier for the beam on the basis to say we are victimizing a amate kwe.
And until now, Supreme Court, there's a bus standing there. I am the describer of matters of rule of law. So you're judge. That should be your first fidelity to the law. But
since Judge Yasema year came, just a bright aquay, you made a very strong point about say. Senka ye nanka o invoke section 96.5a and section 96.5c and was into me mano your friend is saying Bela. And nanka comments made in passing ma. Can you see ye say? But then we are asking you, say, why do you dwell so much with the comments made in passing as opposed to the underlying reasoning by invoking section 96.5a and 5b of the Civil Criminal Code? I don't know. Mudi and what to na more share your comments made in passing a pay.
That's a very good question. It tells us that the judge did not just refuse the bill because Abronye was not entitled. The judge refused the bill because of other reasons, such as not all of us are equal before the law, which falls outside his mandate as a judge, as a lawyer, and as a judge. Now, how can a judge say, you and I are not equal before the law, but some are more equal than others? And how can anybody defend that comment coming from a judge?
If this is the mindset,
yes, a judge should never, under any circumstances, say some are more equal than others. It defeats the whole concept of rule of law. Because the concept of rule of law is all of us are equal before the law.
And I'm happy you use also the concept. So the concept, all of us are equal before the law. But in practice, is it correct?
And that is why no judge should even state it, even if it's not true. You don't state it in your reasons, because it defeats the whole common law jurisprudence.
It should be a silent operation.
You should not even state it as a judge.
But then you could practice it, but don't state it.
Well, look, I would not practice it. But I know some in reality, Obikai was if you crew an India, no quite. Obikai. The equality before the law doesn't mean it's equality before the law. Because we are not judges.
But
then
it
must never state it.
But as a lawyer, no, you would agree. Says subsequent appearance, no, even the state may can change the misdemeanor charge case and raise it up to the level of a felony if they have evidence to that effect.
But that is not what is before the judge at the time that he was making that decision. So the judge should not assume, say, the facts may change until you are going to bring in extraneous matters which does not form part of the reasons, part of the charges before him.
So in this instance, judge, the case before him clearly, ya file law no actually said the instant file ya file be but then particulars of the case asemwa okaye editia the Inspector General Police ne be a judge shed the position of the Inspector General Police if under the guise of rule of law say yetimima or can Inspector General Police eto form by these comments are what is left with us?
Yeah, but see, and this is where we have to express our difference here. Anything, the IGP was represented by the prosecutors, and they made representations to the judge, and those representations did not include their own concepts here. We see, in our system of adversarial system, the judge acts as if he is required to make a decision based on what has been put before him.
Is it likely, a judge may listen and may hap onto line be a I
don't understand.
Sir, judges, Omu entie enkomo ayedi ewa abonten ana. So the judge betnase.
But they are not allowed.
How do we know say the judge ni ti abonten no entimi affect the mindset in having to do with the law?
Enuntina judge very simple.
Bratakwa.
Netwada hono.
But I would rather request of you, say, use an appropriate word, a different word. Netwada ho de yeah system no no nature that's why you born even netwada ho.
We see. Okay, let me put it this way. In giving your reasons for the decision, if you end up quoting Idi Amin in a context of democracy, that makes the decision wrong.
And he said, Idi Amin as a political figure, as a dictator, and as I say, I will share no, and now the actual way so uttered by Idi Amin say Umma wa not traswa. You should be responsible for one no better traswa no. Dia hin yemfa Idi Amin asem no nyansa ne abane wo mu ne yemfa na say Idi Amin bonni a wo bedi ye as a dictator no.
Yemfa ne mi no nyina. Yemfa ne mi no nyina. Because for judge to say you have a freedom of speech, but your freedom of speech cannot be guaranteed. That in itself defeats his role as a judge. It means that all but no, are preconceived in mind. And that's what he's not entitled to do as a judge.
The way no just at the mini hearing for bail and now or this are reason we
Exactly.
So the way forward, you know, are we going to ask the judicial service to ask the judge to recuse himself based on likelihood of bias and
in applying for bail, and Ebini say, one, what are your the accused person's community ties? Or wayere, or wama? What is you weigh that against the charge or charges against him? What is the chance, or what are the chances that he will come and defend? You don't go into the merit. To the extent of saying your freedom of speech is only guaranteed, but your
because at the bail level, no more or less, it's a mini hearing just for bail.
And the person has even denied the offense. The moment only are going to deny the offense, you look at whether he will come to defend the case.
Yes, the judge may be overreaching what is before him.
He's already gone into the merit by saying, say, you are not as equal as you think you are. I don't know, what has that got to do with bail?
Could it be any riffing who say a bill hearing and OTA na ordinary reasons, but other than Nsembi or Kaya, it can be misconstrued as if say Ubua assembling na.
That goes to his competence. So a competenter, he should not forget himself. The bail is different from the merits of the case. You are only restricted to bail conditions. One, is he going to run away? Two, what are his community ties? Is he married? Has he got a job?
Is he likely to repeat what is before?
Is he known by the police? Has he done a runner with Danny Payne? Things like that. But if you say go outside that and you start asking, say, the freedom of speech, is only limited. Then now we judge your purchasing.
It was one time come round now because the state insists to say omu investigations and are there. Course of action open to him. Obet me call a human rights court. I can say be a punishing with the remand
Look, you see, punishment, and this is where most people get it wrong. And even some legally trained people also get it wrong. Bail is never intended to be punishment. That's why people don't understand. Bail is never intended to be punishment. Because all punishment, let's say if he's found not guilty, how do you compensate him?
And Crawford resist our case and say, compensation based on the way the matters were handled.
No, it's too early. It's too early. It's too early in the day for them to be talking about punishment and compensation. Too early. I think that now, and the crime Matthew say if the information is true, yeah, Matthew say money bill. It could be fake news.
Yeah, never say you just be
maybe news, Papa. But the whole point is say now there are bail application as some repeat it or High Court.
Or catch the almost so that they could repeat it in a week's time.
Or they can come back on Friday. And see, some repeat here. The court is not going to look at other things. Bail, you don't look at other things. Say, to the sense of some are equal quoting George Orwell, Animal Farm. I mean, what is this? Is that how you give a ruling in bail application? The answer is no. You look at the mechanical elements, you know. What is the strength of the case against the accused person? What are the chances that he will come and defend it? Has he entered a plea of guilty or not guilty? And things like that. Now, now corner straight, to George Orwell. We are in a country where we need, then it starts other instances. What has that got to do with bail?
It means show, lawyer Adofo, like you said, sir, we cannot rely so much on the information out there, sir. You secure base in one breath for Crano. You say Attorney General Mumkrana could secure bail here, abroad. Now you are asking yourself, sir, Attorney General, we the way you put on the copper bill. So,
news was say he was going to apply for bail. ABA, break the time, not the abane.
Your family rantem any substantive case and the way forward.
Case not the abane. Yes. So I catch a court and say the state is no longer opposed to the bail. So they say,
yeah.
Then the court will have no choice.
Because here can so no. Prosecutor no is a police officer. Yes, sir.
Yes.
And Attorney General appointing the powers kakradiama police prosecutor no, yes, sir.
Yes.
Enti mika say nipa no so aye say suspect na say accused no aka na sem no the inspector general police, yes, sir.
Complainant.
Complainant so it year can no. They just said, could we have a situation where you have to ask the police to recuse themselves and let Attorney General Department rather prosecute the case?
No. Police did they did their job. Instructions said they were supposed to go and oppose the bill.
And the instruction would have come from the Attorney General's Department.
Absolutely. They were told to go and oppose the bill, which is what they did.
So why would the Attorney General behind the back of the police rather go seek for abridgment of time and then bring it forward and go and say that the state no longer opposes the bill? Said that you have done the police in, isn't it?
I know the Attorney General for now. Why they would do that? Because why would they do that? I don't know, but they will know why. It's not the backlash back from the public, no. Not so much because of Abronyo, but the fact of sorry, not so much because of the person known as Abronye, but the reasons that the judge gave.
And as a judge, no young can say, why am from Swa? Why would we not leave it to a higher court to more or less or grant bill? Now comments and reasons a court no be mano. Obi abehunu say we there as a book a court to kumanachi. You shouldn't have done this. English for no more than rather, why should the Attorney General wade in?
I don't know. But you see, Attorney General appointing the 2 million police for.
Yeah.
And the Attorney General can change its mind anytime. Because all prosecutions are done for and on behalf of the state by the Attorney General. And the Attorney General, per Article 88, appointing any authority in the For example, Senate 4, obviously prosecute you. Immigration for cross to prosecute you
on specific areas of the law.
And the Attorney General can come in and say, look, get your money to me. We have now changed our mind. This is our position. We are no longer opposed to bail.
And no, we be say Attorney General cause a tangent no. Now we use the word backlash, no. Nature say judge ni be a ye na akofa say principle of democracy, no. And now using bail as a punishment, no. As nipe kasa huntie e na Attorney General no tangent ya wo can you. But I am also asking say senka judge ni mpo na ye mistake adan na your friend saying accused no the lawyers enko a higher court in this instance high court no a year enko pre-bail nanka high court no grant bail no a reasons na high court judge ne de beba no obia wote ase bia no especially mo lawyer for ebe hunu say obo circuit court judge na chi say we dey waiting rather than attorney general na SSR corrective measures you work for the aba.
Well, we don't know. We don't know whether their lawyers have also done it. So we don't know that their lawyers have also gone to the High Court. At this stage, we don't know.
Okay, after me move on yemra media encounter president of the republic wo ye na obeka say ese kasa basa ni atenie no oman mu ni nyina yenhwe na yensia no na this time round state no may use IP address no atimi di ahwehwe nipa kro amna be yinsem bia no o social media no so sensem keka no edoso dodo and a judge used to some can say attending the political sphere no so doso na yen nyina yemra together na yen sisa attending no anno kwan enti president asemo ka say use IP address emfa enye den emfa hwehwe wo ma ye di atembasa no. What are your thoughts about that?
Okay. Look, is it a changing topic?
I move to the next stage.
Is it a move to the next one? The next one here, president the media encounter and it will about insults near there won't be a social media. The question is, do you believe him or you don't? That's where we should start from. Do you believe the president or you don't? Me, I don't believe the president. I don't think I won't believe the president. Very simple. Mr. Kelvin Taylor, a court issue arrest warrant for him when he was outside the country. President Mahama Bresuya, Mr. Kevin Taylor, Tia Bagana, I antino. What Tia Bagana, Atimia walk majestically to the Supreme Court. I antino. No handcuff, no nothing. Okoye no kota kwashi. Now you know. So you ask yourself, and then what you mean to me, no? It's me back home airport, Yanchino. Probably movement records of every citizen. It's me ababeda, adani, I radio interviews, I Yanchino. No one walk majestically to the airport, to the Supreme Court. I'm a Supreme Court, Akwashi, what is. Before the Supreme Court, there were certain things and points. It means that there's somebody protecting Kevin Taylor.
Okay, Yanyana Boko, lawyer Kwame Adofo.
It means that
Supreme Court, no. Mm-hmm. What was before the Supreme Court asking the Supreme Court to quash orders of a High Court?
Before you go to the Supreme Court, there will be a friend to say a law or a law is valid until it's been set aside.
Mm-hmm.
Orders are presumed valid until it's set aside. The judge no orders no you're wrong. The executive must work on it, must use it until the court will overturn it. Now, the orders were that he was to be arrested. Kevin Taylor the for the bra. Kevin Taylor bagan hayanchino. Kevin Taylor Pier Airport yanchino. Kevin Taylor Timian Nanti in a 4-wheel drive, driven, and he walked majestically to the Supreme Court. So
until the Supreme Court had and quashed the matter.
Thank you.
Until the Supreme Court had and quashed the matter. Kevin Taylor so nama bontene so ha.
Yes, I saw the videos.
Until Supreme Court, it means etie na sem kwashe ya no.
Yes, I saw a video of him walking to the Supreme Court.
Na wadarumo. Mame fa we musa. Say court issue bench warrant. Ti yankopo bi mfamra. Ne nipa ko no kokope ba bi kote. Ote won mo anti court eda court no betena se no. Court no betena se say 8 o'clock yeah 7:30 quarter to 8. So onam headed towards the main precincts gates of the court no a watching na dia kwede court no bia ya on ete hono mu wobeka se watching na kwa abontene asa de na ba na so wo so hunu se na all court supreme court say yesi yenche no nipa yesi yenche no so one so file bibi and asking the supreme court to quash an earlier order of a high court and now wusu video hunu ye na akwede dimnika wo a supreme court we na wo kwa chida free supreme court dem wod na kwa hene
who ya shot him the duration of our criminal.
Mibusa say until say Supreme Court no tenasia yetie na no asem ekoshe earlier orders of the High Court no. Na bontini ba bia na nka principal betimi ache na ne anche no.
Oh, obozo je say. Obetimi abakrum ha. Through the airport. Obi ehun say Kevin Taylor abakrum ha.
The Mimi Busa say hunu no.
Oh, let me tell you, under normal circumstances, so back Ghana, there's no way you will not be known. So back Ghana. If you're a person of interest, you'll be picked up at the airport.
And I'm person just say, Obi hunu no one channel.
Oh, yes, and I will stretch the argument.
We should not presume say you hunu no yan channel.
Of course we did. Airport, you pass through security checks.
I was saying airport or no muhunu se Kevin ebe ni ache no.
Of course.
Afem yemra metie time Supreme Court no koshe a year order of the High Court no. Wotie nsam a description of the ma High Court judge no say ade oye no. Was it in line? I said was not in line.
And they say the executive functions. You na say jump no.
So the wusi can say a year Judge Bright Aqua wakwayam from so about your friends abronye case no by the reasoning no or yeah references to Idi Amin references to George Orwell ne ade no it undermines your friends democratic tendencies no as it is ye nyina nim say we are all supposed to be equal before the law and now face as we use to bail as a punishment I can no e dey awie and at this instance no me busa will say Kevin Taylor no na High Court judge say yenche no as someone High Court judge no kan in dealing with that matter no a co Supreme Court na omo koshe ye no unnim de omo ka fa High Court judge no ho enti omo de ye nyina so e koshe ya na
de omo kan no and it say command what is it called there's a invitation to come and explain there's a word for it it's escaping me before us was issue arrest warrant. But you see,
it not just from so be by ya and no Supreme Court no the opportunity to say quash the earlier orders. No,
that's what the Supreme Court is saying. But I disagree with that position. Anything. People are working and people are man. How do you give him a hearing before you issue arrest warrant for him? Dependent Johnny, he's on the run every day. Police before. They go to court and ask for bench warrant because somebody is a fugitive. Somebody has run away. Now, the effect of the Supreme Court ruling, anything, even ordinary bench warrant, the judge now has to go and give them a hearing before they can issue bench warrant.
So you are respectfully dissenting from the Supreme Court position, no? I
am respectfully disagreeing with the position that they held. And I'm not the only one. There was a judge at the Supreme Court who also disagreed. Among the panel, there was one that who even disagreed with it.
Unanimous.
Yes, it wasn't.
Okay, to me, my point
is Kevin Taylor should not have been given the leeway.
As it was, no. You need contrary evidence. Be I say, state no Kevin Taylor and yes, no.
May Castro say there is no doubt, not even a shred of a doubt, that Kevin Taylor was seen by state apparatus and they aided him, and he was able to go all the way to the Supreme Court without being arrested. No doubt.
But we have members of parliament. Has anybody filed an urgent question to the interior minister to ascertain? Okay. Okay. Klebibi say, Famame, this is Molipe Steven. And then he puts it on Facebook Live. Or say, ADAKABRI, don't be misleading the public Where did you hear that Attorney General want to apply bail for Abronye? It's a good, is it a good standard of journalism? Why are you people behaving like this? Did any of us say me and answer what lawyer Kwame Adofo state in any way say Attorney General or apply bail at the Ama Abronyana?
It was in the newspaper this morning.
Exactly. It is hinefa and na me ne unko didie mu no. Yen na ye state say Attorney rather krano wo wa mie wa no anka say e fake news na me kra me kan say yes. It is Mr. Ya na ye di nkomo a ye nyina ye sua de o. Na
Master and Profobio one but throw anyhow. Don't give too much attention to them.
Maybe let's give attention to them because we can't say obi cry say excuse my French. Obi kwasia kra no. Say any penny and na ugina wa lawyer ni mapa o can be because IP address am di busa wo no. Say what na se pa na wo de me nyusu president na IGP ne de no. As a lawyer of good standing with good of repute Kwame Adofo na obi gina social media so eka se Kwame Adofo akoje $50,000 on the fiada nwumre ama de eche ye Kwame Adofo be host radio show a Kwame Adofo aba beka ensem bi ama apparently no European a member of parliament or can be tear the government in place. Kwame, as a responsible person, what worry ewo ma who good standing in our society. Now will be accused use the word to say or ye crom for. So any person must win or ye crom for. I catch there a lawyer of good standing. I was a radio journalist. I
agree. And it's exhaust. And that's why you have to sue them. To be obeyed, you have to sue them. That is the civilized way to go. But problem, they say, you are right. If the only economy is hiding somewhere, we wouldn't even know where to find him to sue him. And then, maybe a president suggests to say, my IP address in Yeduma. But you see, those who are insulting the most, they are known. You don't need their IP address. They are everywhere. You and I know them. And to me, the solution to that, is that all the parties have to come together and say that no, this type of language in our body politics is not acceptable. The whole radio host and our radio program host, they will actually say $50,000. Who can say $50,000? Who will be that? Who will be there?
Aye.
It's not fair.
Now, Ubra wa boy, $50,000 da. I mean, na about that as usual.
There be $70.
Kwame, that is with the equivalent of $50,000 in cedis. Who be that?
Me $70 and me $50,000.
Kwame, me met me on $200,000. Now $50,000.
So the who's car?
Yes, you got me. But me the money who know as you me the idea.
Oh, yeah. Who be that? $50,000 way.
Hey.
Every time who say so be $1 million that they
because we need denomination cry $1 million.
Maza, it's me who be that physical cash.
Anyway, any one was say be a Uber Jatum so will be that crowd. You debate me a question. Let's say who is again this and out if you are was searching in this hour.
A
man in him say, now, Ubusa, actually say you value the currency. No, can you not, no, can you not, the Amano? It's just own value currency. And easy, sir. Come here, that was finally. Ubri said, how do we undo at the Kura, you say, Bright Aqua, Abronia judge and wire? How do we undo it?
Two options. They can go to High Court immediately and apply for the bill apply for bail again, and their conditions, because bail was not even given. It will be able to be more bail. That conditions so harsh that it amounts to denial of bail. And you don't understand there, you go for variation of bail conditions. But when they were refused to cry, and so refuse to bail there, you repeat the bail application at the High Court. That's one option. The other option is to wait till Friday and then go and repeat the application and see which one. But I ordinarily would have gone to the High Court, and because I will not trust the judge again.
Hey, yeah, now Wesley Hash.
Was it?
It's a Wesley Hash. You won't trust
the judge. Trust the judge again.
Independent say on that particular issue about bill no na woka. It may be say generally no, you don't trust the judge. When you don't trust the judge,
there's nothing wrong saying I don't trust the judge granting bail. Nothing wrong.
Granting bail in a specific issue.
Exactly. When the judge has made such comments about your client.
It is a judge, you know, a member of the NDC and Anka comments are in the same.
I don't think so. I don't think it will change.
Okay.
And I say, you see, this is why we have a problem in this country.
Mm-hmm.
MPP, NDC, are legal fraternity too much. It should never be like that. If a judge commits an error, we should say it is an error. We shouldn't say because the person is an MPP, we are standing at position A, and when the person is an NDC, we stand at position B. It is wrong. A judge should look. When a client comes to you, do you ask them party cry or do any other? Is that what we are supposed to do? The answer is no. You go and represent your client, irrespective of the political color. Irrespective. The moment I'm finding out, hey, my clients were NDC, my clients were MPP, then you yourself as a lawyer, you are defeating yourself. Because your job is your client to not end your case before the court. How do you get your client bail? That is your main focus. Now, when I start NDC, MPP, I will call to them there. Now I say your legal system. Our legal system is not supposed to be like that.
Mm.
And that's what I'm saying. The judge got it wrong. Bringing in freedom of speech, George Orwell, Idi Amin. Why? What for? When in fact, what I've heard from Grana, and Kasabi will get no Bashi judge, you know. What did George Orwell mean? Idi Amin Bem. And I'm a man for Ebeki, all this noise about it too.
But I didn't know as a 1% more retreaty. I mean, 96 5A, no 96 5C. No, I don't know the 1% more retreaty.
Maybe I said Kajaji no Jinasu. And what the other matters about? The
other matters and comments made in jest, comments made in person. And I know now I hear you so say since when?
Sometimes, true, there are some your friend obiter dictum.
Mm-hmm.
And your friend by the way comments, no.
As opposed to the ratio.
Exactly.
So why do you rely on the obiter as opposed to the ratio?
I would say a judge may make by the way comments.
Mm-hmm.
Over time, no, it becomes even the ratio. So what I say?
Me follow.
A future court may say, even the passing commenter, court to A make it, makes sense now. And therefore, let's use that as a reason for our decision. And a friend ratio, no.
This is a rare likelihood of fear in your mind.
Exactly. And that should not make a comment like that. Okay. Especially when those comments are not related at all to the job as well.
Okay. You fancy for now. Now the NDC nibi subenya asem. I'll come back to you. Nyamenka lawyer.
Right.
Lawyer Kwame Adofo ne na di nkomo ansama ne pese nya ho ntia se nyina ne se eye abronya DC na okwa akope bill na ansama judge ne ka ye ne nyina so no oka emra mienu ena oka nsem bi so ebata ho mienu ese nyina ya dwene ewo nsem no ka bata ho no as opposed to mra na wogina so no engineer Shamaba was the 2028 presidential bid is between Honorable Julius Debra and Chairman Asiedu Nketia, but the constant vice is Honorable Zeneto Rawlings. Whenever the ball rolls, I will chase to score. I'm done. And Ode Ebaye. Masawood Kumasi Bantama. I say if declaring state of emergency is the only solution to end calamity, when the NDC were in opposition, what has changed? Try God volatility. Also, why is it that lawyer Kwame Adofo is found always have problem with anything that is against any member of the MPP? So his only problem now is against the judge that he has spoken the truth. And Ode Ebaye. Now Mashaka Sante and also saying, also lawyer Kwame Adofo always speaks as if the law was made in favor of only MPP members. Which kind of biased lawyer be this? Always speaking as if he knows the law more than anyone. Empty barrel makes the most noise and patria. Mashek, you don't describe a lawyer like that in public. Now would the best man no swam makokano. Be a meme to be trust home for you. I don't do that, okay? Nsembe bre kura no kokeke kachiru bi wa bontina. Edo how be breba. Mystic Wonder, was it good afternoon to you, Father Cabre? It's obvious that lawyer Kwame Adofo is an extension of the MPP communications team. And now what they buy? Lord Nate was kindly informed Suhum Member of Parliament Protozua that our Suhum Anglican School H Park, which he promised to come to light, it has not come. Ever catch there no Protozua, we are Michia baby, I will be a Amewu Gakudalo. Also, so are we saying that we can insult leaders in full glare of cameras and say because we are lovers of democracy, the person should go unpunished? Ghana. Just give me 1 year as president and Ghana will be more than disciplined. And a year wafake and wasan dia baby. Sinina mino. Ghana man penny. In Panifana Babetnasi. And if one of Ababetnasi. Inti yabana yadi dini na ne enkoma yababe dini na ade aba enko konkete nkete esoso ebebem nambe mawa besi dombe rolonu sale sikte kelile sabana dodoge si o mate mawona deke bede o tuela besagona dodoge no bi tuela besagona dodoge obele nambe Ghana and Sam on Facebook Live. Also, good afternoon, Wafa ADAKABRI Mahmoud Woshuma. Whenever I go on my knees to pray, I always make sure to add you to my prayer points. May God bless you. Wafa, I think you should start your own analytics and research organization because your knowledge and experience in dealing with issues are top notch. And Ode Ebaye na osan eto aso no what's it? You should have been the chairman of the Council of State by now, or even the GJ president. I really admire you a lot. But Wafa, lawyer Kwame Adofo has always disagreed with every court decision concerning the new government, or not. Since the new government came into power, but agreed to every decision when the opposition party was in power. So my question to him is that, why is he always moving like that? Can we now say for a fact that he, as a card-bearing member of the MPP, I pray that he would be called to the bench soon so that he stop these utterances when he goes against the MPP. Mr. Kasante again, as when did lawyer Kwame Adofo start having issues with judges in Ghana and never on one occasion accusing them during MPP regime? Lawyer, was it there be a MPP Anuaka NDC Anuaka? Menye eye pro MPP pe no dey ba e be no ba betnase e dey for atnase no a Richie Suma of Movement for Change watnase and Benjamin Isari of the New Patriotic Party watnase the ladem Abiklu Abiu the ladem Abiu the ladem of the National Democratic Congress, as what Nasi. I'm cooking kitten. And in the dear Baba Yete so the baby home. Now you want the way forward. Who's in the need? 100.9 FM. the studios this afternoon. Abiwu, the leader of the National Democratic Congress, is in the studios. Tasu and Richard Suma of the Movement for Change, also in the studios. Nafesun Benjamin Isari of the New Patriotic Party. Omunyina ba betnase. Ya badwendwene ye ho pa.
List ni nie enwoma beto to dia me baba no ho ade no hwem so betumi a asew na obeka ya jontuma miensa duku potomanto this way chocolate drink na kan wo hwe afibia so beri ni waware ni a this way chocolate drink na kan sia asew udan kanu ntumu ho me be mo anu nso hye kura de aka ho wo de wapi ho o ka se batete edafom ho
this way chocolate drink
kra cha be pe baba ware
asew
ye fi ase this way chocolate drink ya sori anopa no ne yenom ye bi she fridge nom no se snack ye nya hoho a no ne de serve wo mo ye didi wie ne ye pe bibia bogu ya de so a this way chocolate drink ne yenom and this way no ti anu a he se kire wom kokko wom brick wom bibia wom ade wo hia ne so se
this way chocolate drink
de wo hia ani so se
FDA ahwehwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atum se eye
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies you right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes you flow. Anytime. Natural mineral water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Neat FM Neo.
Neat 100.9 FM suni. Yeah, Benjamin Isari atnase, Richie Suma atnase, and Abiwu the ladem of the NDC so atnase. Entity honwa. Ben, asemo esi eni omi punpa wa can't say President of the Republic amame. No I can't say what damn for so the amame. Rigid regional minister bina jawo tima we say monim de ase na ofrefre no MMDC fo nyina say ono de sanitation no or say yitimi tususa into omu nyina amfa adwene mra na kwan be fa so sanitation e be ye omu nyina in unison baako bia ka kire regional minister na say omu de omu pese zoom line o ye adwuma na ma wo inti regional minister no hwe na woni wo manim na wo mo de adwuma bia o se ye in the regional minister's region no na wo mo de on person mo zoom line collaborate na ye adwuma no na regional minister says ya bu ana be kwa ka che John Dramani Mahama Beji
Ofa
Wana mko kanjire John say na ni minister bi ni MMDC sinishia ya akoso
Ofa eja ne hyewa wa obeba Ijano se hyewa wa nkasa obeba
mumu MMDCs muni regional minister hia munyina matimi anu akobenkuro mu se individual obi ase da bi ena minister said mo
Ofa adwuma na wo ho na nya adwuma ketwa wo ese ye under
enya volunteerism ne
no na assembly na nkasa no omo sika ye de ma omo annually yesay
na original minister afrewa na munyina mo koka se
omo person omo kire se omo ni what it takes omo betimi de aye adwuma no apart from Zoom Lion adwuma a oye wo mamu a eye simple as ABC offer omo ntimi adwuma Zoom Lion eye wo kromu ano ofanya adwuma ketewa o na assembly na nkasa track back kra no omo wo sika omo de beto track back e be adwuma o track na Zoom Lion edema all the assemblies na omo de adwuma district na assembly na nkasa no omu ni sa sika na omo de beto track no enti wo fa no kura pa ne se
eye truck ba kokura na VIP kokoto ye no omu use truck kokura na scanning ba ko eye 30,000 euros
ofa me se omu ntimi yanka no kura wo mamu ha na ne o ya de paboa wo man no yempia no no ntimi ye
the minister no onko kan say president
na ena me se osofo abro be wo mo se obi ntimi nya ahode ne nkonkoka adwuma no nso amu ntimi nya na fi no nso koso dokro yesa ofa udu da bia me ba mitumira na ma kire si a kire wo hwe ayalolo bus stop ye of anko run about ofa udu a kire won mo ahwe hwe efi no ahode ne gu onom main road no wo na sebi ubedru wa once na pa ne sebi
shell ni nchemu ho no
shell ni nche wo yase ne wo ufi pokuyase ba otra ECG for transformer we na wo yadu
anya run about no wo tra run about no no original right
no pa me ba kura me yese ka me video ana me twamu ofa nti no kura ye ntimi nka wo mamu ha nti no ama wo mo a omo wo pepa no ene wo mo wa hoden na omo de be yadwuma no because of politics ye the asem kese na am wo man no enti wo sofo abrobe wo mo ba omo mfa nsoma manase na won ko kanche president
because wo no nyina ne sise
omo mfa mano no won ko kan because initially no on started sa crusade way say SN Zoom Lion aye bone kese bi a wo try letter come president a wo sa be ka say president na acknowledge the letter no enti na ni age on ko kanche wo mo say adwuma na MMDC is no omo akoka kire regional minister say adwuma no bro wo mo so omo ntime nye nti president on twa nani mehwe Zoom Lion asem no wo mo nka na ye ntime start adwuma no na efi na no ensuo to offer ensuo to just 30 minutes 30 minutes wo mamu a hwe the we are flooded for babia eye ewura no na akwa choku gates num na ensuo ni nya baby nko nti ye besre ye wura John Dramani Mahama se wodi ye nuanum bi achi a nyuma na wo ya wo so wo pepa so de bo man no enya de obetimi a continue ayi
Richard na regional minister say de dia ye no say obekwa akoka
oh ADAKABRI first of all the mefa akwenya we su na next one say ye wo ye kakra kabia abeto Ghana man nyira so the passing away of Apostle Dr. Safo Kantanka engineer Bakupe why very innovative why nyama bebre e wo man we mu wadua ebro bebre wadua brode bebre in fact say we call Safo Kantanka sema I don't know the beginning and I don't know the end because why the obetimi ayebia to demonstrate to us that the black man is capable of taking his destiny into his own hands. But oka yentie oye exhibition na politicians akukudam umwakotena ho akika brofu akesi they live there and there's no strategic decision or strategic thinking to partner this individual to work hand in hand with this individual anka yedi Safo Kantaka ye ejuma anka ene Ghana anka yesi ebro ana banchi ana brode ana technology there, we would have been ahead of all the African countries or many Asian tigers and but yes sir, I did not kokofu football sir and then nyamia freno okone bibi yes rese nyakumpo o share abusiani nyina den na ofan is in kra ensie ebibi papa yo Zoom Lion same there of ADAKABRI akasa say without Zoom Lion there is no way ebetumi anya a clean Ghanaian society because you can't about demonstrable track record, capacity. They are all the municipal and district assemblies and metropolitan assemblies. The CEOs no, or the directors of those assemblies no, they are very much aware. Say, you need capacity no. Your need capacity no say. Even at the end of the day, cry gather baller no cry. Where are we going to dispose of the baller? What exactly are we going to do with the baller? Anything I will say in other assemblies, no. Yes, the assembly collects the refuse, all right. But on the dumping site, no so be another hurdle on this so share before no. Abogobi Pantankwa Wesu, where the main dumping site was. Uduhoa back in the days, you cannot even pass that Abogobi Pantan road, no, because then you know landfill site, you know. I am ma and I think and I flies all over, but with the intervention of Zoom Lion, that landfill site, you know. Omoya ni ye any hobby. So
if you're regional minister, no one yet won't cancel me.
Of course, you see, you must be able to swallow your humble pie. And at the ever munu say, ye person money and conning. And if somebody is trying to do some shenanigans behind the scene, now a person government on revoking Zoom Lion ni contract, now painting the picture say Zoom Lion is a bad company that is siphoning the state resources there, and which is not the main case as we speak today there. Why wouldn't they go back to the president?
It's a regional minister, no, or no, on the back of the MMDC is no, or cock cancer as way. Now another region so penon so cast a media dear. Meet me I am a Juma.
Go to the president and say, look, we want, because the most important thing is our father. Zoom Lion is an indigenous Ghanaian brand. A Ghanaian company. So what is our problem of trying to work with Zoom Lion? They're putting the same thing we did to
alternative
the same thing we did to Suffolk and Tank. You see, we don't like our own. We hate our own too much. Anything that is Ghana, Piano, Yem Penny ye, Yem Penny cost Aden
Susuka. The ladem.
Yeah, Father Gabri.
Just a minister, one in the MMDC. I can't over President Amani.
Baby Wafa. Mammy Shiona, Membo Abbas near Jumapa, with the Boa Ghana mine. I mean, Shaminiano. I think this is the first time meeting. You are really doing a great. Oh no, make an offer. Offer, make an offer. Many offer in share that early morning. Be an member. Yeah. I mean, Boa Basso, we are Jumapa at the Boagana, my pa. In fact, I have been following you. You are really doing great work here. Over, in fact, you can't Zoom lie on some. Me, I've not come across any communique. Actually, say NDC and NDC are buying any Zoom lie or issue. Beer. Me, I've not come any communique, sir. Say any, yes, say any Zoom lie or buying. I will grudge be. And now say yeah, war may when we be a yeah fighting. No, I've never come across any communique biasa. Over the course in nane say Sika Zoom Lion, etia ama individuals are omuye juma under them no. Wofa any idea you can write home about. Wofa what would you call him sir? Me boa na wofa. Say unim me boa. How can somebody be working?
Why in the 2 years can you Zoom Lion it? Yeah.
But yet assembly name say why ni sika e de koma Zoom Lion
o twasika say say efama depends on where can.
That is it. No because Malik Babonti be catch there say he never said Zoom Lion should be paying, and our president the why he does not help Zoom Lion should be paying this amount of money to the individuals. Never.
And then enya chinyijie ko wie say krata adaso sika de ma Zoom Lion no.
Yes, Zoom Lion can there. Why you so can there?
Why you krata na idi adanse say fasika say efa emma worker no. Fasika say enso so efa ye logistics. Fasika say enso so eye management services.
So are you trying to say why you determine Zoom Lion say
that is correct. Why you fa worker no? And why you determine say twa na ka say
good. Okay, they okay. Say so somebody say no cry na worker offer. Some power says Hana Okandia. That is why he sat down again. And who said they be? Sika yet your man for we no. And yes, Sika ebe buan for we. And I'm a boy. So we should come to the negotiating board again. Yen better us and yen bobo who say yes, I increase your salary. Are you getting me? The again is how to reform. Ye be man kofonu so amuye juma no many budget. You get it? But the NDC government, John Dramani Mahama government, is not in longer term with what? Only Zoom Lion enko. We are never fighting. You get it? We even last I've seen a communique. So even those people person on Zoom Line Zoom Line is willing to even pay the people about 1,000 something. So communique.
Why in say
good.
Obetu o market trianum and Zoom Line so betum. why Malik wasn't telling us that you bet me to bet 300%.
That is it. You get it. You get that is it. And the minimum say so MC now the way are over finding way and way out over finding over fighting waste management or constituency. It's before you. You get it. It is son or Martinez. I don't say Debbie. Zoom Lion can help us in data. Why not? They can go for Zoom Lion again. You get it. And yeah, the bonnet. Okay, just what way and means are over fighting. We make sure say if he end the crew of mine, finding a way out. Say Zoom Lion over here. Tell Zoom Lion they will come and help you. You get it. It is where MMC and any ministers no find it so difficult no. Mampeni Mahama, I can pay fail and say who MC are who put it up a good performance through by waste management you be sacked. So here. Actually say cleanliness is next to godliness. You be bu my ya and say you di huni e my way mu. So the president, the command that to Obama in Naka who say almost Ghana is the most cleanest city our Africa. In fact, our Africa and I bet you Ghana is going to be cleaned and compared to first I finger doklo your my way mu. This time around, you are going to find a way that you be making sure say waste management, you know, you be making sure you be treating it very well on my way mu. So the MCs are more I find it so difficult. So I'm more approaching the president. The president is a welcoming person. Why wouldn't him that? Why
in fact, the president no asaya dear Bakwa, member of parliament for Asante Achem North, a year or Hinekam Frimpong, and Upunku to be the Asante Achem Equiafo. Oh, yeah, Aquaco to Mankese. About one cup Bakubia Afaso. Yeah, or Plidima or every or catch Mahamas or Muhiambua and a Mahama fertilizer. One canoe answer. Canoe answer only when Asante Achem North from Rashebani. A bunku to dwe esre Ghana mampanyini se oyamwa emma ombe brand 1,000 bags of fertilizer good emma yede ma kuafo no amoma kodo to mankese na aduru atofo na box kakraka no 500 cedis yenya nipa emye memeto yado tomatoes ne ade ene yado ejene na in fact MP ni bunku to dwe oye PR ediama akuafo no mekua na ayem bibibi se ba me we de why ade instinctively na ma akuafo no so enyina bubu nkotodwe se nka Ghana mampanyini enhwe na yemeye factory bi kura ho na yentimi entre mu no to market no say Ghana mampanyini directed the Ministry of Education to the Ghana Education Service. Say 1,000 boxes and 10,000 to market no Ghana Education Service Asante Emra Meto yemfa nkoma school for ye no aduane di ama wo mo. So this gesture, this idea MP ni ye any response a presidency no so ediaba no, what can we say about it?
Wa uni Mahama dada say osia oyo. You see, Mahama is not somebody he also difficult so by approaching. You get it? The moment issue be by the moment you call him, you will see him on by parties and say Mokula.
And before the door send Asra the Amanaye.
Obeye. Over, Messi Obeye. And then I make catch the MMC in any minister. This is here. They say, someone says Zoom line a bebuamwa. Just tell the president, Mampeni. You who say way anyway, who say fight waste management that way various districts and any municipals. Way anyway, I bet me here idea fight. What I say? So we want Zoom Lion to come back. Ome boye wo, Bojak by constituency. Zoom Lion boye wo, just constituency. Why not? So for us say if you know I end the crew of mine no any penny there. Mama penny baby ni say amaya ya welcome Zoom Lion. Number ye jumano. It was far. John Money Mahama Osia Oyo. This is a nice testimony we give you an opaway. And yeah, is even circulating on social media. Obia should be anameboa.
Yintie bene.
You get it?
Of mame first no neja. Intimi ancha. Mame ncha osronko. Mame ncha etiefo ne ahwefo a omo hwe ye ewie. Menchia menuanom so a me no omo ha. And then so yeah, me mate back follow me pa on birthday.
in fact the next so many aba me dina chefia poma Mrs. Henrietta enemy ni Frimpong Manso and that's you and birthday.
Oh okay and yeah happy birthday yankopon nhira no
and the last week so na papa so di 88 years arrow Frimpong Manso.
Wow. No fa wa party bia ma ya ma ye
88 years no or London
person ye 90
o kasa na me ni 90th birthday.
Oh okay
so odi nkomo abeka
fa srewa se udi o London cry do on ma ye say adaroma offers opetekiti ma ye na ye nyina ye kona ye ne oluma kodibom kama na bibia kama ene ye me mate ba ko ye Janet Iyeboa ne birthday ochirade wo Abuazi DA school ewo Shama district ehona ochirade nti Janet Iyeboa ewie wotemenka me ma happy birthday yankopon wonsha na onye wapede ema o kama akoma so ade nyina ma o kama ofa minuan onse Zoom Lion asem no ebasa na ya na ewo de we a ya misi fasa asem no kure wo mu nyina ne se ye nuanom anyi ntumu se ekwan a na omo pese omo de Zoom Lion adwumadie ne faso no enya de a omo tena ase ko omo achi ekohwe ese ko omo beje dwumadie no afri ne nsem no omo de ama ye nuanom bi no sa nkrofo na omo start ye ni nyina no omo ahoden ewo fam enya de a omo betimi aye adwuma nti na NDC fo nyina communicators nyina frese yemfa dwumadie no nsa ama Zoom Lion no onye na adwuma na menua ya asem ye oti a o kan se omo ba be magana ate te se ente se previous government na efia dokoro ye previous government a ono ni Zoom Lion ye adwuma a na Zoom Lion mumu bo modern so obesiesi kromu a enokra no na efia dokoro ye na wo na wo ba ya ne contract no ewu ya wo si won renew no wo ene ye hwan na esiesi o ma num mo ma no emu te kama isi nti yempa mu nka nokre ne magana fo nyina hu se dwumadie no enya de a mo betimi age de afri Zoom Lion sam de am obi Zoom Lion pe and what the capacity so betimi aye adwuma no de aboa wo man no apart from Zoom Lion I'm yet to see any company our Ghana hanom a or financial muscles now what the capacity so betimi de di dwumadi a Zoom Lion edi ni ebi ni ho enti sa antro na almost started di here and the Zoom Lion sika or dem ma workers ya almost prepare no eso ani ade ni nyina no it has come to light say ni almost kan ni nyina na entro no kure na wo mu ane say Ghana government and employ Zoom Lion workers and why enti so wo feel say sika na ye dem ma why workers no eso a ye wo wasade ne say wo beto omu sika no omu salary no wo betum na Zoom Lion akoso aye na adwuma nti wo fa ye nyina ya ba beje atumu se ye wura Jospon kwasisian kofisian kwamisian enya de a ni dwumadi a odie no na komapa ene de wi a osi ye na adwuma nti no ya de a Ghana fo nyina esufre no nti yesre ye wura John Dramani Mahama se ontie Ghana fo nyina esufre na nyame yaduma as soon as possible only no contract no mano no onya dwuma no ankasa ne MMDCs nyina ababonte ababeka se dwumadie na yeso omuni e wo omo district no omuni the accoutrement omo de be ya dwuma de aboa ama efin no yeso ano district num no ebetimi ayeye nti ontie na sopam na on renew contract no mano na yentimi ko MP no ofa ma amajosem ya rehosem esese masi take an MP obebunku to dwe asre wo mampani ansa na wo mampani asede esese wo ye waya na
so mampani ni mra me ye factory
yes obetimi aba ye but ohwa na asem o kan ya wo se wakoto apa mampani e ma politics ye mi eye sre wo mamu ha municipal chief executive na wo district ho no enti onim pharmacy ne hawo na wonim ne pharmacy ni kom a esese MP no na esese obibu nkotodwe ema through that no omampani ahye se yankonkoto tomatoes ni bi ne mfa nko school mu ne mfa nkonko ye duane na sembe kra na yema amanyosem ye man ko low sad to the sense say MPB amun kotodwe no wo issue bi won constituency a omampani ntie no they say they just MPB abun kotodwe say wo issue e wo constituency and as wo issue bi e wo district na say wa nko kotodwe animu amun kotodwe ansre wo mampani a enya de omampani beba beye nie na Ghana for ne pe wo district wo no enya de omampani beba beye yamma politics no yen raise bar na kakra na municipal chief executive no obi anim say ukọ asante achem north a dwumadie pa a omudi eyekua adwuma tomatoes yi eno anu omo ye ho adwuma bode eno anu omudu ya wo ho enti no asese municipal chief executive no enhu farmers no omo hawo na womu make sure say obe champion no de abre president na president no aye ho adwuma na se MP ebebu nkotodwe ansa na omampani atie no de adabraka ewo mu se ne MP ne ye no ono no all fight e de ma na manfo e ne constituency but se MP ebebu nkotodwe ansa na omampani aye ne na manfo pe e ne constituency na no esese ye betena ha ne abo omampani aba so se MP bi abu nkotodwe apa ne chawso wo hia bibi ansa na omampani akwa ye dia ofa adabraka sa niema we ni kwase ye soso because se wutie omampani abra wo ba konwam o ka kire ye se eye school feeding ana se school aduane aye no ano ade a ekwaya ne ye fa so na ye no enya de ono obeye ne sa na ono no sese no odisika ne baba akwa headmasters na headmasters na jisika no no omo no momu akọ no omo akọ niema no wodwom no omo de ababa ye adwuma no so today I'm even surprised say president ebema directives ahye say tomatoes no yenkonkoto ne yemfa nkonkoma schools no omo mfanya aduane mankwala ofa eni kwa say samrei eno ne ade asese e basesi ya say so obi hia bibia so wa mu nkotodwa enya de a you cannot catch the eye of the president unless say who kneel down esre wo mampani epa ne chew say dwumadie we na ye kwako wo constituency no wo manfo ni su enti eseso obehwe no ye na omo antimi amu nkotodwe ana omo so omo abu nkotodwe esre wo mampani enti ye hu ye no na cheso omo de enya de a ye beye bibi ama omo constituency ana enti we nya de esese president no waje ho credit ne ye ka say ye bo president na baso so obi abu nkotodwe a request bibi ansa na president na kwakoye na chese ye de wuni nkotodwe skills a anazo untimi mu nkotodwe yie se ne be ya wodi wafukura beto fam ama president na hu se o manfo ani abrede a na chese president no enya de a obehwew enya de a ebeboa president no e make sure say obia benya ne seso de abre oye president wo each constituency ne district no se ne be ya Ghana for dodo na so be benefit from the president and Ghana resources ayewo na boa o man na tumpon
Richard yeah. Benjamin Isari of the New Patriotic Party earlier on Delade Mabiu of the National Democratic Congress. Richard Mienti also member of parliament for Asante Achimnov Kwame Frimpong or Hine Kwame Frimpong plead say Ghana mampanyini obre fertilizer mo de makuafo na kodo to mankese ama emuje ne nyina apiemu anu nti no Ghana mampanyini hwe na yemesi factory was Asante Achimnov agogo na no na Ghana mampanyini as an initial stage say to mankese o makodo no yenya atofo no at a rate of 500 cedis per year box no 1,000 boxes and 2,000 a year onions no bottle 2,000 yento niamfa konkoma Ministry of Ghana Education Service in the whole of Asante niamfa no aduane mankwala ni
yo of ADAKABRI asem we there mekano say when you are talking about production you must link production to market availability. So you don't produce when you are not also considering say final produce no ubenyano which market specifically is your target audience. Now, say who produce tomatoes and now jenny and now whatever the vegetables are who produce, you know, it is always good to interlink or interconnect with those at the end of the consumption and those at the marketing tail of the production line. No? And to know your best stress, once you are producing tomatoes, don't wait. Say the tomatoes should be ripe. It has been harvested. Then there is no existing buyer. There is no existing market to consume that tomatoes. Whereby at that same material moment, you know, we are still buying tomatoes from Burkina.
Burkina no so asan resolve say all my Ghanaian trucks enwura Burkina enkofa tomatoes no ne ma. De mumu no omunyina paga na yema Burkina trucks emfam free Burkina ho emfam mre ye Ghana ne ye nto. E just say Burkina drivers so nya adwumanye.
And then again to the market women who also of ADAKABRI who share the what do we call it? The lifespan of a product and send our purchase. Who share the breed of the tomatoes now ye grow e Ghana hano. Ono no oni ahondi bebre. Enti uto a enche na asay.
Mame fa bibi kakra so nka ho mfama. President of the Republic so nkokwa nkitinkiti a wo mo omo manifesto mo no. Na no national service ane ode made nyina me ofa ase prekope roof dela sedo ana wode no akwakoye executive
so of ADAKABRI
ti yene nya interview kakra no nka ko kete no national service for the omaye no fanchire roof want to say
of anyame adum pacho wo
nyame adum so me ye official me ba besrawo na ma behwe wo office wo se de wasiesi ho na ma hwe adwuma de be na Vincent Kuagbanu ene chance ma national service for eyemfuo ma national service for be CPU eboaboa ye satam Vincent Kuagbanu ne ye penabo no kra ene na akoye ade papa te be bia Vincent obi amechia no now enkokwa nkete in short what does it stand for?
Yo medo wasi bebre na me de chia kese ama one wetie fo yina na say ansana yebeba our 2024 campaign no His Excellency the President of the Republic as part of the vision for transforming and resetting this country no say who be here say sebiu and kukopuno na yedia aya na ye krafi abrochire bi wo ho a nsam a ya tipo ni say bi we di 2 years wo ho bi we di 3 years na echire ansa na about the Drew Ghana ha no wo wi san kokko na wo refresh nkokko a wo say taste ni completely different and health related issues ni ade no na hu be hia say yanka say betumi ayi de everyday yan nkokko okrom ha na yetuni enya ne fresh na ya to na yedi na ama anwoden a ye nyina ye hwehwe efri sankokom no yentumi yensa yeden etumi aka wodi no so eto nchen a ense ye won bebu no bebe ho a ye wie school we adwuma sam kra ya na yeden ayedin because already the public sector is so blocked say yes ba betwen mankola ba be wie school almost every year over 100,000 in kola na wie our various tertiary institutions. Well, how do we expect to say zankola ni na benya akonya e public fencing sector no and who be here say be creative na yetumi ape edwuma ama yembebuno and one of eniema Papa John Dramani Mahama so say betumi aboa na ama edwuma akoso eye efuo ho edwuma especially poultry and until no this idea na ye friend nkukon ketenkete agenda na yeden e ba ye nyina ye nimye si ye twe sa agenda no spray ye ne dia nema but I think that by and large Ghana for be bought into that idea na ye won national service ye the say we will harness the intellect and the strength and the capacity and competences of your young people omu wie school I was say ye bi omu to adwuma mu no mu sua the practical aspect of what they went to school to learn no ya fatu ye ho so na wo kan no em say efuo mu nsam no started all the way from 1992 to 1998 And along the line, no, a breaky, a nipana or sati, or no core area, no. That is with papa, the President Rawlings regime, no. And a breaky, a young sign and go back to it until Honorable Vincent Kwagbenu, Ebaya, or some revive your farms, no. And see, Usha, your farms in all the 60 regions of this country. May catch a brofu a yam draw. Ye can say, yasati a ye harvest ya, bubuja, debris. Na, yeba, yebetu in kuko of capacity with the capacity of 2,500. Ewo papa o farms, ewo hachu. Udru, unam hachu, kwaina, say, ugugu krana, edo beko. Me kan sa na ma fa ofidie so aka se de be ya Ghana fo be hu se won kokko won jomo konkoto bi ma me wo fa
me so kura me kwa koto bi
won charge me die
ba be kwa koto bi eno se enko eti ni nyina ne se end result no ne saying the benefit to them
ya ba ye no na ye se ye be so ye papa John Dramani Mahama vision nam na ya start nkokko nkitenkete no ampa Nyamia dom ye to me increase capacity no from 2,500 to 100,000 capacity. Then to me no can say there was 70,000 beds. Yen kuko ewo papa o farms. 50,000 broilers and 20,000 layers. And see, I think that is what intrigues His Excellency John Dramani Mahama here. Na adwin so beba no ba behwe say ampa de ye kana watu ofidie so na yesa na eti ana ampa so oba ye no ohun say de ye kana yesa na eti wa say ye boss say yankopon ya aduma obeboa yen a supporting ye with fidie ene ne ma ye hia nyina na yetumi a expand na ya kire bebu no bebre na more opportunities to feed themselves.
Yo, edena ye beda wase for now na ya follow up na ya ba betie mu pa ye aba be sound nyame nka ho pa what message
unya daje a wo pa obi me obeba na me ne wa call round our various farms and especially papa o na wa hu for yourself the good work we are doing for the
certainly I'll find time and come medical let once and why
that's a pan
right enti eye roof sedo na yatene no Richard.
Yeah, ADAKABRI emrenoti no ma me born to fa na yentimi ka
5 minutes until to
yeah, so as a matter of fact they be me can say let us they said they are all cano that they are producing over 70,000 birds. They are growing maize, they are doing this, they are doing that, they are doing that. The argument is that what is the market availability of those produce? And if you are producing the thing, what is the buffer storage capacity of some of the things that we are also producing? Say, you bet me absorb it a lot and throw back into the market when there is demand for it. So then again, before we be interjecting, now me catch you say, for instance, we need not to wait. Say, tomatoes has to be produced for the farmers to be looking for a buyer. For the MP should go on his knees. For the president to then now say, national school feeding secretariat. Produce that is not how to grow any civilized jurisdiction. The most important thing is that before you start producing, you must look at the end game in mind. But here, like the case, they only grow tomatoes, but they didn't think about who the buyer of the tomatoes is going to be actually. So, say president intervening. That means that all those volume of tomatoes produced is going waste. Now, at the end of the day, me catch us say the variety of the tomatoes that we are also growing, the lifespan, and yet we have sent a CSIR Ghana. They are doing research into various innovative varieties of tomato seedlings. Why are we not strategic? Where is the cohesion? Where is the synergy in anything we do as a country? So I would have thought, say, before they even start growing the tomatoes, they be a say, we be a friend of cottage industries. So you don't need large-scale tomatoes processing plants to be assembled in that constituency before they can process that raw tomatoes into a finished product. And Tiyabesha Abani say, focus more on production and turning your production into manufacturing, because enuna bema weju manu bebre. And a bro we say national service for musu omu yeno. Where is the corn going? 2. in Kukon Kitty project now Mukano. Yes, you're good, but you see, it is about pricing and constant availability. And then I ask them no. So the consumer is looking at where can I constantly get my produce instead of say, oh, me transfer National Service Secretariat for Omuomunye in Kukona. Then we are going to get a lot of bed. Of ADAKABRI, do you know the quantum of poultry products we are importing into Ghana every month? It's huge. I am into that sector. And to me name the quantum of producer. Akuko stre. Unim akuko stre container dudua eba on my way per week. Even with that one round, we are not able to meet the demand because demand is more than what? It's more than supply. And to the best say they should always have the factory establishment at the back of their head so that anything they are doing, the end point for production should be the base because industry is made up of manufacturing and then services, and the manufacturing sector depends largely on raw products in order to feed industries. So at the end of the day, say national service producing Yamana government should, as a matter of urgency, team up with what? Ministry of Trade, Ministry of whatever it is, manpower development, to see how say the raw things we are producing, they shouldn't come and be begging for buyers. And at the end of the day, we should create platform that will link the market of takers to the farmers. So by the time the produce is about 20 tomatoes, say it grows in 90 days. So at the end of the day, before your tomatoes is ready, by 60 days time, you should start looking for off-takers. And TMS said they should build that ecosystem around the agricultural production capacity, so that at the end of the day, it meets the production capacity in terms of manufacturing. So that at the end of the day, Omu producer at the end quickly they take it to the factory, they weigh it, they give them their small chunk of the money, and then we grow as a country. TMS say, "Ayadi Papa, yes, right." Oman Penini say, others are also growing things in other jurisdictions. They said their bank that has not come to the attention of the president. So at the end of the day, where is the synergy? Synergy new way, cohesion new way, strategic partnership new way, and yes, holistically, so that at the end of the day, people should not sweat. They shouldn't sacrifice to grow things. When they finish growing, they have to beg before it gets a buyer. And they right.
Yo, yeah, Richie Suma of the Movement for Change. Okokofa, the great transformation plan now. How much don't be was in some of our and it's in line with the stated planner. Benjamin, Mientiwe. Akokon kitten. Oh, as a business model.
Send ye Minuana Kayan. I'm say Abambia and Oba Obaby Diacunia and Niswa Duna or Peswa de Bois mine. And send ye Ira Nanado Danko Kufuado. Oba Abesresa or mine no man Aqueniana or Umedi or Manoson. A touter no, and then a policy be by ours if free SHS. Our the buyer, Utimi Baye, so Ghana for any I ne. So show Memu Hanuma, a idea free SHS and Abwa Ghana for the door now. Into you, John Dramani Mahaman, so on also or opposition, or also the policy beat the same coconkit and kitty policy by or also a person or bar obey whom and senior Yenua Bano a kind, yes, almost one more young Wedjuma. Senior Beya ombe fulfill omo promise about Nkokonkit and Kitano. Yanshe, so far no, Yanshe then who be beer, said that, and who a beer na fena almost started. Until let's give them the benefit of that. Say, policy na, omo at the tone from Mamso Mobabe and Wedjuman. Yanshe how I'm busy rolling out. Na etimiaba ama Ghana for no, and so etimia benefit. Inti yeah to us now if you say and your policy sebi na ahodi wom a ebetimi aboa mo man na timi afa ntima pafra so pe say enam dodo na akokɔ ana akokɔ fosu dodo na aye krafra mo na ne yete so na yetimi nya the organic one wo mamu ha no mo ebetimi aboa ya pomuden na so de say adwumadie we beba na etimi aboa mo man na tumpon a why not ye nyina ye hwe say ye de sa policy no ebeba na se senior almost almost the aban ye how almost see no senior be ya ebeboa oman no nti ofa adepa se almost omo ya ye hwe no kwan omo fa so na omo ye no senior be ya omo bebiem ama Ghana for dodo na omo we interest so omo person konkete na omo kan ye no ye betimi take advantage of it na timi aboa ma youth no dodo na anya dwuma ade a ye be welcome ni ye senior be ya omo be ye nhyehyeye no na timi aboa oman ni nyina nti ye nhwe ekwaye omo be fa so a omo be ye no ba as senior ye ne one of the manifesto promise waba otu ho anamo no de ade a ye nyina be hwe the way be si akona aboa oman na mo oman no etimi take advantage
yo abiu yentie we
wofa menu no maka bebre in fact I'll be so happy saying
the manifesto promise waba otu ho anamo no de ade a ye nyina be hwe the way be si akona aboa oman na mo oman no etimi take advantage
yo abiu yentie we
wofa menu no maka bebre in fact I'll be so happy saying coming into importing of Ekuko foods. Uko port si a wofa. Nkuko foods are omode free amanone de ba my way mu no wofa. Anya asem ketewa. Say wonim sa. Anya asem ketewa. The only antidote I bet me ade they are fighting this cancer and they say let us also begins to what grow this nkuko no domestically e wo fie. I bet me beating the other people. Or for them can say what I say. Nko kiti say me can na no. I bet me abo ni na no. Obia be bi woni fie, ben baby woni fie, afafranto be bi woni fie, ofaso be bi woni fie, bisma ye bi woni fie. So that ye independent e won kokko e different mono ne dey ba. Anu kura ya another thing e bet me make economy na stabilize. Dollar say me can na no. People change dollar to go and buy kokko foods our mono ne dey ba. And my economy ni na ye bubrujai. You get it? This is one of the ideas that every Ghanaian must embrace. Whether the MPP, whether Afafranto, whether the CPP, every political party, let us put our political lines aside and come together to embrace this idea. Over. Now, I can't say you has a I don't think I say MP kon ko to Jesu. No begging man penny say ombra number one mindful. In fact, someone who the trend ACCC here on my way. You know, the MP ni year was anti-achemo. It is not bad. She inside one. So on also be call to you so absent Mampeni say Mampeni come to my aid. It is never bad. And you are the bonnie. You get it? He begs Mampeni say Mampeni me fertilizer. These are the skills of lobbying. Why would you that? Why would you? MPD, you know how you go.
It will 2 minutes. Anything of your choice.
However,
final comment.
I'm wanting your way. So there is nothing bad. Say, oh, Mampeni, come to our aid. He's lobbying. Anything to have go there and lobby. You get it? So only I call lobby. Say, "Mumba to be mame. Me mindful. Are you getting me?" But let me tell you something. Okan John Dramani Mahama memoir. Yehu bida. Uba into factories, industries. John Mahama is more than any other government. Because what buy more than even your government. Yeba renovation of a commercial sugar factory. Professor Okaipa. Shea butter not factory. Renovate even tomatoes factory during the NDC era. John Dramani Mahama era. It depends. Come on to him. Asante Achim for be a nim said their potential growing of what crops. I bet me perishable. We are going to make sure we set up factories. I bet me for ready markets and I mean for Anthony K. So let us have hope in the NDC government. Over 8 months in Bonio. You can even compare the 8 months with 8 years. Even more than the 8 years the MPP come to office. Actually, the NDC is making a headway. It means the NDC have the people at heart. Nakayamua is show keke farm for voter region ha. Most mo kra mo ntu aba ma membo nka memfa mbeboa mo. Look at the people for Asante Achim. Yen can vote is man. Look at it. John Dramani Mahama agency eko say Debbie. Let us make sure we find a solution to this problem. Okay. It offer. Let us have hope in this government. Just 8 months in Pony. Look at how the economy is growing. Look at how our city is performing. Look at how people are not complaining. Like I said, who say Russia and Ukraine say no Jayasuma. It's Ben. So pray. Na fina obi ho memo papa. 8 months in Pony. Enyankwa broja back.
Okay. Yes. Richard, 2 minutes.
Yo, of ADAKABRI, the way I mean, the la Oka side here, maybe on Pies, John Mahama, on Tien in terminal pay financial. Na onusunu onya ni chefa ewo abano mu entinu uye nipa enti yes say Mahama omo bibi entinu of ADAKABRI. I'm still coming to the point, say you see, as on mine no me can dey bia say ye ni plan, ye ni vision, ye ni foresight, ye bibia to say kokofu football. Why do you go and retrofit Commander Sugar Factory? Meanwhile, there same kesebi na eba. Why do government go and retrofit a Commander Sugar Factory when, first of all, you don't even think about where your supply base of the sugarcane is going to come from before you feed the factory? At the end of the day, no, when Kwame Nkrumah established Commander Sugar Factory, no, I saw a receipt, an invoice. Actually, said 60% of the raw sugarcane normally feeding factory, no, was coming from Ghana State Farms. 60% of the sugarcane was coming from Ghana State Farms, and 40% of it was coming from cooperative sugarcane outgrowers in the region. You don't depend on only commercial outgrowers or small-scale outgrowers to say, who be retrofitting factory, and retrofitting a factory costs you almost about $50 million. And then at the end of the day, who you factory now, you don't have 10 tons, 100 metric tons of sugarcane to feed the factory. Ye bahun kokoku football sa of ADAKABRI and then Commander Sugar Factory. Waste resources, white elephant factory. That is why I'm telling you that any civilized country that wants to go into industries to make sure say you have sufficient jobs for your people of ADAKABRI, Mika said we need more state-owned enterprises, state-owned factories, because do you know why? Factories that are supposed to be state-owned, they are not supposed to be profit-making ventures. We call something in economy, say, once the people are getting jobs, your citizens are getting jobs to do, and they are being paid salary, and the company is even making 5% profit, no, it's enough to survive that company in order for your citizens to get jobs to do. But we are not creating state entities. They said the way they like, no, we like to praise ourselves, dodo. Ye boy ye ho abaso na yes say na 9 months no wa wo mehu de ajo Mahama wa ye juma che 8 years of somebody of ADAKABRI ye bet box up football we sir na 4 years na then aba the 4 years to catch up with them, and then they realize say even one functional factory crop no yan to me and see one functional state farm yan to me and one functional something yan to me and they be I see galamsey the dollar is doing well. We are not buying galamsey gold to cushion the so-called gold ball 6 billion they are making to make it look like say we are doing something extraordinary. We are waiting. Okay. They should pray say the price of the gold should not fall on the international market. If price of gold fall today by 40%, we will see what the dollar and the CD will be like.
Right. Finally, Ben.
Offer me that's nyame ayadom MPP for omutie me ewie ene Ghana for dodo na yenua abronye nyame ayadom yamani bill 50,000 with one surety and no condition at all, no condition county say no there nyame ayadom ama ya granting the bill no ama me no ka say lawyers no ye ho adwuma nyame ayadom a enwumire ya de a obenya no fa ahodie nti Ghana fo nyina na mo pese ye de emra ne pepepe ye adwuma wo mamu ha no nyame ayadom ene me no kase ye nua no onya no fa ahodie ofa me nua ne nsem a wo ka wo he mfa ya na yareho se ye betena aha na se ye di nkomo a ye admit se ya feeling niema bi a ye ka se ye ne ye ntimi anye na ye mpa Ghana fo ho chew na Ghana fo nyina mra ne yenka ye homom ne yenya dwuma because ohwe 9 months in office ye wura John Dramani Mahama ebetena akonwa so a ade bi o ka so obeye bia no miwa no wa feli o ntimi anye o ka se obe fight galamsey ene Ghana fo ne wiase nyina edi adanse se ye wura John Dramani Mahama when it comes to galamsey wa feli o ntimi nso ano o ntimi nya ho adwuma wato ne nsa wo wiem or call for opposition or say young call for state of emergency and then waba ama Ghana for nyina ate as say state of emergency ni say see am no ka say kura no ehun hia ntinya de obeye ofa oba ye was dollar edwane oba ye injecting of money artificial a year omudi eso sika na sene ma dollar no call fam no yewura John Dramani Mahama na nkasa na num to say the IMF say sika no mo ntua biem enti say the dollar na nkasa no ne strength na nkasa na ejina ho no eno na apeke a eko na chese omo anya bibi extraordinary bia a sene e be ma dollar no abafam ofo ka so oba COVID levy obey free ho wantimi ani COVID levy and free ho oyi wa betting tax free ho and wadi doom so levy aba enti ade bia yewura John Dramani Mahama e ka so obey bia no fa nyame se yenka no kre enya de a yewura wabo no homoden wo kwan bia
we are enjoying light we are enjoying stable life for some time
light Dramani Mahama
Benjamin Isari of the New Patriotic Party, as a Dako Edema Abiwu Deladem of the National Democratic Congress, as a Dakoma Richard Suma of the Movement for Change. Echiamunina Nyankropo Jediam Ponkamunina. Sabre Yame Muswa. Abramo on the team. Ulakoku Michael and DJ Foreigner. On Babette, Guzuneti 100.9 FM.